Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 19th September 2024. So there are many articles which you have to refer from today's newspaper from different subjects point of view, and we are going to see those articles in detail, and wherever it is necessary, I will be also giving you gist of those topics as well. So whenever you are watching our analysis, so please do watch daily, and consistency is very important. And before reading your newspaper, always keep your UPSC syllabus beside you so that you can interconnect where exactly you can keep that article in your syllabus. And next one is go through the previous questions also so that you can understand exact pattern of UPSC and what is the demand of UPSC. Clear? Okay. Let us see the first article, which is very important. So first article, it is talking about simultaneous polls plan gets union cabinet nod. So you all know that we are talking about simultaneous elections. Simultaneous elections is also called as one nation, one election. Okay, let us see this article in detail. It is talking about simultaneous elections. Another name is one nation, one election. So from which subject you can see this article? Okay, so we have GS paper 2 under polity. So from polity you can see this. Especially elections and election related news is very important for UPSC, and it is sort of the favorite area. And already in your mains there was question asked by UPSC regarding the simultaneous election. Okay, so here elections. So whatever the news that you can see regarding elections, like Election Commission of India and its reforms, or else election commissioner or chief election commissioner's appointment. And next one here is any reforms or any allegations regarding elections. And this is one of the great reform that we can do in our election system in our country. So it is very important. So what are the dimensions you have to see? You have to understand what is this one nation, one election, or what does the simultaneous election is about. So we are conducting elections for Lok Sabha and as well as state legislative assemblies together. So this concept is called as simultaneous elections. And here you have to see what are the challenges we are having to implement this simultaneous elections. And you have to see what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages regarding this simultaneous elections. And this is very important topic, and today mains practice question I will be giving on this topic of simultaneous elections. Okay, so these are the dimensions that you have to see, and now let us see this article in detail. So here our union cabinet approved the simultaneous elections for Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies. So this concept, so we are going for one nation, one election. So we will be having elections for Lok Sabha and as well as legislative assembly together. So this is called as concept of simultaneous election. Now this simultaneous election got approval from our cabinet. Okay, now let us see the important points that you have to think from this article. So first important point here is the key word that you have to understand is democratic enhancement. So whenever our cabinet gave an approval for the simultaneous election, so it will be improving our governance making process, and even it will be enhancing voter engagement. Voters, they will be actively participate in these elections, and even we can decrease the frequency of elections. So in one go we'll be having elections for Lok Sabha and as well as legislative assembly. So there is no need of conducting frequent elections, and even we can make this election making process more efficient. So this is the one important point that you have to see. And second one is, yes, there is some contrast which is happening between the ruling party and as well as opposition party. So opposition party is saying that in some states recently the elections happened. So how they will be accept for the simultaneous elections? Okay. So actually here other opposition political parties, you are saying that if you are going with the simultaneous elections, that will deepen our political divides in our country. So it is one of the great challenge of conducting simultaneous elections in our country. And next one here is, yes, if we want to conduct the simultaneous elections, obviously we have to go for changing of our constitution through amendments. Yes, we have to go for constitutional amendments. We require significant constitutional amendments that will reflect the complexities of altering long-standing electoral process in our country. And next one here is, yes, there will be some impact on central state relations. So whatever the central state dynamics is going now, so especially in some non-BJP ruling states, yes, there will be a question of federalism, they will come, and that will also further lead to tensions between central as well as state. And next one here is, yes, whenever we are having this common electoral role, obviously it will be increasing the voter participation and as well as voter turnout. Okay, so this is one advantage that we are going to get. And here this article is highlighting that, yes, approval we got, but there are lots of challenges before our government to implement this simultaneous elections. So here this article is saying that we need to come up with these reforms. So whenever we are coming up with these type of reforms, obviously we are having some bureaucratic hurdles and delays. So now let us try to understand what is this concept of simultaneous elections. So this concept is also called as one nation, one election. So here we are going for elections of state legislative assemblies and Lok Sabha together. Okay, so here you have to know about, as I said, what is this advantages, disadvantages and challenges. So today's question I will be giving on that as well. And see this image. So recently we discussed about Onam festival, right? So I said in that Onam festival, Pulikali is one of the important celebrations that will be done in this Onam festival. And actually in our today's newspaper, I find this Pulikali dance, it is a folk dance. Okay, so here what are the dimensions you have to see is, you have to see this topic of dances in your art and culture, and there is a very high chance of getting prelims and mains question from these dances. So in these dances we have two types of dances. First one is classical dances and next one is folk dances. So in classical dances we have 8 dances. For example, Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Kathakali, Mohiniyattam, Kathak, Odissi, Manipuri, Satriya. So these are the 8 classical dances. So here how can you get question in your mains is, so they may ask difference between 2 dance forms like Kuchipudi and Kathak or Kathakali Kathak, like that, or else they will be asking you write about evolution of dance forms in our country, or else they may give 1 or 2 dance forms and they may ask the features, important features of that dance forms, or else you may get question like how these dance forms shows the religious and cultural significance of our country. So in that way you can get 4 to 5 kinds of questions from these classical dances. And my request is try to make a proper notes of this 8 classical dances and try to make map, and you have to show in which state which kind of classical dance was there, and in a separate page you have to make a notes like dance form name, in which state it is located, and you have to see important feature. So and here you have to see Lasya and Tandava, so which is dominant, and next one is you have to see during which ruler it had been developed, and you have to see cultural significance of that dance. So if you're making notes in this way, then you can write any mains question that is coming from this classical dances. Okay, and actually I found that many students who are coming for this mains answer ready from other institutes, they are facing this problem of writing according to the demand of question. So if you're making notes in that way, then that will be very easy to write an answer. And next one is from folk dances. You have to make notes in this format. You have to see the name of the dance. And next column you have to write about state and you have to write about special feature. This is more than enough. So there they will be asking just names and as well as states in the folk dances. So Pulikali is one of the folk dances from state of Kerala. Okay. Now let us see. If you see this image, you can see like, so here the dancers, they had attire of tiger, right, in different colors. Okay. So what is this Pulikali festival? So Pulikali, it is a traditional folk art form and festival celebrated in southern Indian state, especially in Kerala. And the word Pulikali, it is nothing but tiger. Puli means tiger in Telugu and Kali means play. It is called as tiger play in Malayalam, and even in Telugu also we can connect this. And actually it involves the participants, they will be painting their bodies to resemble tigers, and these participants who are doing this dance form, they are called as Pulikali artists. Okay, and they wear colorful costumes, they resemble tigers and the dance through the streets of Kerala cities and as well as towns. And this festival they will be doing as a part of Onam celebrations. As I said, Onam will be done for 10 days and it is one of the important festival in three major festivals of Kerala, and it is harvest festival. So in this part of this festival, they will be doing this dance. Okay, so Pulikali involves lively and as well as energetic performance, and even drummers, they will be accompanying the artist, and they create a vibrant and captivating spectacle, and that will be attracts both locals and as well as even tourists during this time in Kerala. And see this article, very important and interesting. Indus Waters, India to freeze negotiations with Pakistan. So what is the keyword? Keyword is Indus Water Treaty. So what is the keyword? Indus Water Treaty. So where can we connect this article in our syllabus? So from GS paper 1 under geography, I am talking about Indian geography. So in Indian geography, you have this chapter of drainage. In this drainage or river system, we have two types of river system. First one is Himalayan river system, and second one is Peninsular river system. And again this peninsular system is divided into east flowing rivers, next one is west flowing rivers. Okay, so in our Himalayan river system we will be studying about three rivers: river Indus, next one is river Ganga, and river Brahmaputra. So if you see these three rivers, they are not flowing only in India, they are flowing between countries. For example, if you take this river Indus, it is flowing between India and Pakistan, and even some of the northern tributaries of this Indus, they comes from Afghanistan, like Shayok and as well as another river, Zayok and Shailam river. So here, if you see about this Indus, so we have Indus river along with 5 important tributaries. So they are flowing between two countries, that is India and Pakistan. Okay, so here which is the upper riparian country? So it is flowing like this, right? Okay, so it is flowing like this, and there are tributaries coming and joining like this. So upper riparian country is India and lower riparian country is Pakistan. From India it is flowing. For example, what if India is constructing dams on this and controlling the water? So there will be less flow of water to Pakistan. So to control the proper flow of water to Pakistan, so we came up with this Indus River Water Treaty, and we signed this treaty between these two countries in 1960s itself, and this agreement had been brokered by World Bank. Okay, now if you see this article, that is Indus Water Treaty, so many a times we and Pakistan went and had a talks on this, but recently Pakistan is not at all showing interest to finalize the changes in this Indus Water Treaty. So because of this, India freezes this Indus Water Treaty. So because of this is a news. So this is some brief background regarding this article. Okay, now let us see exactly what this article is saying about. So if you see context, it says that India has decided to freeze negotiations, that is to stop the talks with Pakistan regarding this Indus Water Treaty. Okay, so because of this, we can hold the meetings of Permanent Indus Commission until both government can discuss potential revisions. So actually regarding this Indus Water Treaty, we are having this Permanent Indus Commission. I will be telling about that within few moments. Okay, so actually we are going to freeze a negotiation with this Pakistan till these two countries, they are coming forward to have the proper discussions. Okay, so actually India also tried to initiate talks with Pakistan in 2023, but Pakistan is not providing any satisfactory response. So because of this, India also wants to freeze this negotiation because India cannot push every time, right? So what are the things that you have to see? So first one is negotiation stalemate. So if there is any freeze in this negotiation, which signals deepening tensions between India and Pakistan, which indicates that diplomatic channels are strained. So whenever negotiations had been freezed means, yes, we are not going to have the further talks, at least when these two countries, till then when these two countries they decided to have the talks. And this one is, if you see this historical context of this Indus Water Treaty, so this had been signed between India and Pakistan in way back in 1960s. So where at that time the Cold War era had been started. Okay, so actually this agreement it is focusing on water sharing and as well as they are focusing on changing geopolitical dynamics. And actually many a times here we went on for talks, but Pakistan is ignoring our request. So because of this, what happened? So whenever Pakistan is not coming for talks, obviously India can control more amount of water of this Indus. Obviously it will be having complication in water resource management between India and Pakistan. And whenever, if Pakistan is not coming for the talks, who will be get lost? Obviously Pakistan will be getting lost, so that there will be having impact on water security of Pakistan. So that if they're not having enough water, that will be having impact on agriculture and even impact on livelihood of the people. Okay. And what will be the geopolitical implications? So the suspension of the stocks may have the border implications for regional stability, and even there will be lowering down or decreasing of bilateral issues between India and Pakistan. That may further increases the tension between India and Pakistan. Okay, now let us see what this treaty is about, because there is a chance of getting question on this Indus Water Treaty in your prelims and as well as mains, and you have to see on which tributaries India is having the power, or on which tributaries here this Pakistan is having the power, and you have to know about important projects regarding this Indus Water Treaty as well. Okay, so this Indus Water Treaty signed in September 1960. So tell me, today is also September 19th. So which year we have signed this? It is more than 64 years, right? So if you're getting any 50th anniversary or 60th anniversary or 70th or 75th, so you will be getting questions for sure in your prelims and as well as means. So in this way, you can expect some questions, at least 3 to 4 questions in your prelims, okay, from our historical significance. Okay, so this agreement between India and Pakistan was brokered by World Bank. World Bank took responsibility of finalizing this agreement between India and Pakistan. And this treaty, it is about focusing on mechanism for cooperation and as well as information exchange between two sides, that is India and Pakistan, regarding the use of Indus Water River and as well as 5 tributaries. So which are those tributaries? Satluj, Bias, Ravi, Jhelum and Chenab. So on these rivers, so India is having power, or India is having its own on which rivers. You have to know that. So actually, so one important key provision regarding this Indus Water Treaty here is about sharing of rivers between India and Pakistan. So how we have to share these 6 rivers of Indus River? Okay, so here actually river Indus, Chenab and Jhelum. So you can remember like this, ICJ, International Court of Justice, that is Indus, Chenab and Jhelum, they given to Pakistan, and remaining are BS. Okay, so RBS is nothing but the type of glucose test we will be doing in the blood. So RBS power which is given to India. So ICJ for Pakistan and RBS for India. So actually here, what are the powers of Pakistan here? So powers of Pakistan here is they can use this water for non-consumption, agriculture and as well as domestic uses. And for India, they allocated unrestricted use. They can use for whatever they want. Okay, that means actually here 80% of share of water went to Pakistan and the rest of 20% can be used by India. Okay, so under this Indus Water Treaty, so there is second important provision of establishment of permanent Indus Commission. So under this Indus Water Treaty, both countries they must set up this permanent Indus Commission and they have to meet annually, but it is neglected. So because of this permanent Indus Commission, which had no meeting from 2023 onwards, India took this step of freezing of negotiation between India and Pakistan. And this one is third important provision under this Indus River Water Treaty is dispute resolution mechanism. So if India and Pakistan are having any dispute, so they have to file a case in this dispute resolution so that the questions on the both sides can be addressed or resolved by the permanent commission. Okay, but it is inactive now. And next one here is whatever the differences we are having between India and Pakistan regarding the sharing, so even they will be addressed by World Bank appointed neutral expert committee, because obviously in 1960 World Bank played a very important role in brokering of this agreement between India and Pakistan. So ultimately World Bank also appointed this neutral expert to resolve these issues as well. So these are the four important key provisions of this Indus Water Treaty. And if you see which are the projects to be inspected under this treaty was, the first one is Pakaldul and Lower Kalnai. So these are the hydropower project which is built on river Marsudar, which is a tributary of Chenab. And next one is Kishan Ganga Hydroelectric Project. So it is run on river project. So earlier I discussed about what is the difference between normal hydroelectric power project and as well as run on river project. So in this run of the river project, there is no need of construction of dams, but there will be small turbines which are mainly fixed so that whenever water is moving, so the turbine will be turned by the kinetic energy of the moving water, and that is connected to the generator so that the electricity can be generated. So actually this project which is located in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, that is now present UT, and the Pakistan objected this project for arguing that it would affect the flow of water in this Kishan Ganga river. But when this run of the river project, we are not going for building of a big dam, so that we are not at all storing any water. So in this case, actually India won this case. Okay, and next one here is one more project that you have to see, that is Ratley Hydroelectric Project. And again, this is also run of the river project on River Chenab in Jammu and Kashmir. So these three projects should be monitored under this Indus River Water Treaty. And if you see here, I gave you one infographic so that you can understand the map of River Indus. So here we have River Indus, and as I said, it is Kishan Ganga, and here we have Jhelum river, and here we have Chenab, here we have Ravi, and here we have Bias, and here we have Satluj. So actually here you can see Bias is the river which is flowing in India, and Bias which is meeting Satluj at Harike. So you have to know the place as well. And earlier how you got question in your prelims recently was, so which river met which river and which is the longest tributary of this river Indus? So in that way also you can see the map, okay? Yeah, next, here you can see one important image. So what is this image is depicting about? It is depicting about snake boat race. So actually in our Onam article we discussed recently, so there I said about Pulikali and as well as Nehru boat race that will be happening in the backwaters of Kerala, and this is that evident. So these are called as snake boat race or Nehru trophy boat race, that is very commonly done in this Onam festival in backwaters of Kerala, especially in Vemanad Lake. Okay, so let us just see that. And here you can see one article, we are sharing state of art expertise with ISRO for Gaganyaan. So what is the keyword? Keyword is Gaganyaan mission. So what is this Gaganyaan mission is about? Yes, human space mission. So what is the target of Gaganyaan mission? So by which year we have to send these humans into space? So just see about some facts regarding Gaganyaan. And do you know, even regarding this Chandrayaan 4 and Chandrayaan 5, they are also ambitious projects of India's moon mission. Actually, Chandrayaan 4 got approval. Okay, so here we have to see that article. So Chandrayaan 4 and Venus orbiter get approval from Union Cabinet. So what is the keyword? The keyword is Chandrayaan 4. So Chandrayaan is nothing but India's moon mission. So here you have to see the series of Chandrayaan 1, 2, 3 and 4. So out of these three, which is success? Chandrayaan 1 is success, Chandrayaan 3 is success and Chandrayaan 2 is failure. Why? Because of failure of orbiter and rover. Okay, so why we are saying this Chandrayaan 1 is successful? What the things that we find? So by using this Chandrayaan 1, we understood that yes, there was water presence on moon. And why we are calling this Chandrayaan 3 as success? So what is the outcome of Chandrayaan 3? What we got? So we went for smooth landing. We went for smooth landing on moon at South Pole. And India became the 4th country in the world to have this smooth landing on the surface of moon. And here you have to say what is the Chandrayaan 4 is about. Chandrayaan 4 is about we have to collect the rocks from this Chandrayaan surface, that is moon surface, and we are going to have the study on these rocks. So this is about this Chandrayaan 4 mission is about. So from which subject you can say? From science and technology point of view. Okay, so what happens? What is significance? Why we need to study about this moon, or why we need to study about sun? Why we need to study about other planets? What is the use of studying this? Why? Okay, so you can understand like how these planets got evoluted. Okay, next about evolution of our solar system we can understand, and we can understand about life beyond Earth, whether there is any planet which is supporting life. Next, why we are searching for water on other planets like Mars. Come on, think. Why we need to do that? Is it necessary to spend some millions of rupees on this space explorations? What's your okay? Day by day, population is increasing. So what? Population is also dying because of diseases like COVID-19. Okay, land is a rare source. Okay, so can we shift to another planet? Buying of properties in space. Okay, who will do registration for that? What atmosphere? Think and tell me after this class, okay? So Union Cabinet approved Chandrayaan 4 mission, and in this mission we are going to collect moon rocks. And regarding this Gaganyaan project, we need this Venus orbiter, and this orbiter got expansion under this project, and finally that also got approval from our Union Cabinet. So actually, so there is no need of seeing this number. So they are allocating this much crore rupees for Chandrayaan 4 and this much crore rupees for Venus mission and so crore for this Gaganyaan mission. And actually, we are going to build our own Indian space station by 2035. And actually, we are going for manned lunar mission by 2040. So these are the targets that you have to remember. There is no need of remembering these three lines, but you have to focus on these things like self-sustained space station by 2035. So India's target is to build India's space station by 2035 and even manned lunar mission by 2040. So these are the targets that you have to write. So whenever you are talking about advancements in science and technology in the recent era, because from 2022 onwards, India is running in the space race. Okay, you have to know what are the recent achievements in our country, at least 1.5 to 2 years of achievements, at least names and what we got from that missions. Okay, because there is a high chance of getting question regarding the space exploration of India. because with different countries, they are coming towards India, they are looking towards India for having collaborations in the space sector. Okay, so because of this, there is increased craze for India in the international market regarding the space. So here you have to know about that, and especially what missions we did and which are success and which are failure, and in that success what we achieved. Okay, all these things that you have to know. So let us see the key points here. The key points, or the first one is Chandrayaan 4 significance. So this mission aims to enhance our lunar exploration. Lunar means related to moon. So we are going to collect some samples so that it will be helpful for lunar research and as well as solidifying its position, and India will become a key space explorer. And this one is, if you see about this Venus orbiter mission, so it has been launched. It is going to be launched in March 2028, and this mission, which represents India's second interplanetary venture. So you know about this Venus. Venus is the second important planet. Mars, Venus, Earth, and Venus is called as Earth twin because of the same size and because of what they are belonging to the inner planets. And mostly there are some assumptions like, so Venus is also same as the Earth materials, like whatever the metals that we are having in our inside of our Earth, it is also made up of that same type of rocks. So because of this Venus orbiter mission, so we are going to get valuable data about Venus, and that will be helpful for understanding about planetary atmospheres, whether Venus is having the atmosphere or whether this atmosphere had been swiped out by the solar winds or solar flares. So we have to understand that. And if you're talking about third important one, they are focusing on expansion of Gaganyaan mission. So it is very, very important. Okay. And even we are focusing on establishing of our Indian space station by 2035. So it is very important for long-term human space flights and as well as even research in space. And actually the important problem here is we have to need actually a lot of funds if you want to go for any space exploration. So even government is also committed for advancing India's space capabilities, and even we are getting enough funds from the government for our space exploration. And even we are focusing on next generation launch vehicle. So we are developing this next generation launch vehicle or new launch vehicles so that we can also increased heavy payloads. That means whatever the weight of payloads that we are taking, so we can take maximum payloads by using GSLV itself, that is geosynchronous launch vehicles. So we want other new launch vehicles so that we can increase our payload weight. That will be very helpful for our future missions. Okay, and next one here is we can also focus on crew lunar mission. That means, so we are having a target of manned lunar mission by 2040. Okay, so here we can understand that there is increasing ambitions of Indians, especially to even reach this moon as well. And even recently, one private manned space mission had been successfully launched by SpaceX. So in the same way, here now we are also focusing on manned missions to space. Okay, so those things that you have to remember. And see here one important scheme, PM Asha schemes to continue with addition say center. So what does this PM Asha is about? PM is Pradhan Mantri. AASHA means what? What is Asha? So here if you are writing any other competitive examination, there will be a question based on the abbreviations also. So you have to know clearly about the schemes abbreviations. So Asha stands for Annadata. Annadata means farmer, right? Annadata Ay Sanrakshan Abhiyan. So PM Asha is Pradhana Mantri Annadata Ay Sanrakshan Abhiyan. So here you have to remember about this scheme. So if you see this image, you can understand this scheme is related to farmers. So here this scheme is focusing on providing remunerative price. They are trying to providing remunerative price for the farmers. And here this scheme also wants to control price volatility in market. Okay, wants to control price volatility in market. So now my question is, how government is ensuring remunerative price to the farmers? You know about this MSP, right? What is this MSP? Minimum support price. So before farmer is sowing the grains, so this price is decided by government. Then how again why government wants to control this price volatility? So even if you see, the problem with agriculture is the price will be dependent on supply and demand. For example, there is increase in the supply means what happens? Price will be low. If there is decreasing of supply means price will be high. So will any farmer can determine about any climatic conditions? No, right? So he don't know like whether he will be getting high produce or low produce. It is very uncertain. So whenever there is increasing of supply of food grains in the market, so there will be low price. Okay, there will be low price. And whenever there is decreasing of supply of food grains to the market, there will be increasing of price. So it is very highly uncertain. We can't, no one can say exactly whether they are going to get more produce or less produce. Okay, so actually government is providing MSP. So government will be also not knowing whether the climatic conditions will be suitable for the increasing of production or not. But to give assurance for the farmers, yes, we are there to support you. Government is saying MSP. For example, if there is no proper climatic conditions, for example, take this case here, there is decreased supply of food grains in the market. So if there is decreased supply of food grains, what happens? There will be obviously increasing of price in the market. So that will be more compared to that of MSP. So then what happens? Who will be getting losses? Farmer will be getting losses. So to compensate this, government came up with this scheme called as PM Asha. I hope it is clear now, right? So to control price volatility in market and to get remunerative prices for the farmers, even though after announcing this MSP, if the market price of the food grains is more, your farmers will be getting this compensation price. How? To directly through their bank accounts. So this scheme is called as PM Asha. Clear? Okay. So from which subject we can say this? From governance GS paper 2 and even in economy GS paper 3 and also from society point of view. Okay, so let us see this in detail, and you have to know about the components of this scheme. It is very important. So Union Cabinet approved the continuation of this PM Asha scheme, and the important aim it is to ensure fair prices for farmers and to stabilize the market prices of especially essential goods. Okay, so what are the things that you can get here? So whenever government is providing this scheme, obviously it will be providing support for farmers so that they will be getting some stable income. So these are the keywords that you have to use: stable income. And this one is it will be enhancing financial security, and even it will be encouraging agriculture productivity as well. And this one is it will be also protecting consumers. So whenever government is stabilizing the prices, obviously consumers can also get food at affordable price. Okay, so it will be also protecting consumers regarding sudden price hike, and even government wants to ensure affordability of the food grains and as well as accessibility of this food items. And next important point is even government came up with a financial commitment of enhancing agricultural welfare and even price volatility. And whenever we are not maintaining the prices, then that will lead to economic instability of any government. So government always need to focus on maintaining of price stability or not. And this one is government is also focusing on fixed subsidy rates so that farmers can be having access to the necessary inputs at the reasonable prices. That will be helpful for maintaining of crop yields. And next one here is even government is focusing on market in regulations, market interventions. So here government is responding to market fluctuations as well. And even they are focusing on maintaining of strategic reserves or buffer stocks. For example, unfortunately, if there is decreasing of supply of food grains in the market, what happens? It will be affecting food security, it will be affecting hunger, it will be affecting poverty. So to control all those things, yes, government need to maintain some buffer stocks. So regarding crude oil also, I said that India is maintaining strategic petroleum reserves. In the same way, FCI is maintaining the godowns which are filled with this food grains, so that government is trying to ensure food security in our country, okay, under this National Food Security Act or PDS system. Okay, so see about this scheme. So Pradhan Mantri Annadata Aay Sanrakshan Abhiyan, this scheme which is guaranteeing minimum support price to the farmers, and even government is focusing on a commitment to ensure remunerative prices for their produce in the shortfall of the supply of food grains. And what are the salient features? So in this scheme, we are having three sub-schemes. You have to know that. First one is price support scheme. So under this, what happened? Government will be procuring food grains like pulses, oil seeds, and copra, okay, by using some central nodal agencies in collaboration with the state governments, and actually here they will be bearing the procurement expenditure and as well as losses due to procurement. So whenever they are taking this pulses and as well as oil seeds and copra, so whenever there is increasing or decreasing of prices in the market, so whatever the losses, that losses will be bear by government itself. And next one is price deficiency payment scheme. So price deficiency payment scheme is nothing but if we have MSP, okay, if you are having MSP, so when we are comparing with the MSP, if in the market the price is high, so the compensation amount will be given by the government to farmers directly to their bank accounts. That is called as price deficiency payment scheme. And third one is pilot of private procurement and stockist scheme. So under this, here private sector can be encouraged. Actually, it is a pilot project. So government want to select some private stockist as well so that we can maintain buffer stocks in the states. Okay. So these are the three sub schemes under this scheme. You have to know that. And see here, government to fence Myanmar border at 31,000 crore rupees. So why we have to border at this Myanmar? So as I said, yes, India is sharing boundary with this Myanmar. And can you tell me which states of our India which is sharing boundary with Myanmar? So which state, northeastern states, which are there? How many? So I think in your geography also maybe sir had taught this. You have to know about international borders for sure. Okay. So actually between India and Myanmar we are having porous borders. So what is this porous borders? Any idea? So here till 5 kilometers and here till 5 kilometers. So who are the people who are located across this border? They can easily move from one place to another place. They don't want any documents, okay, to travel between this place. That is called as porous border. But actually what is the condition in Myanmar? So Myanmar is under military junta now. So because of this, here there is an issue of this migrants from Myanmar, they are entering into India. So that now we are going for fencing at our border so that we can protect our national integrity and we can protect our country from insurgency problems. Okay, see this article. A fair share finance commission must address the concern of high performing states. So what is finance commission? I think finance had been completed, center state relations for you in economy. So what is this finance commission? For every how many years we will be establishing this finance commission? For every 5 years. At present, which finance commission is going to set up? 16. Okay, so what is the function of this finance commission? Devolution of taxes. So what are the taxes collected by center? It should be shared with the states. So will the central government is sharing the equal amount of shares for each and every state? No. What is the criteria to be taken care of? Education, next population, forest cover, next. You have to know that. And how it is different from earlier finance commission. Like what is the difference between 15th and 16th finance commission criteria you have to know. And how the devolution had been changed. So actually one thing it is clear that here whatever the center which is devoluting this taxes to states, it is not equal to the state. So developed states are getting less amount of money compared to the of non-developed states or less developed states in our country. And developed states in which area we are having in our country? In southern part. And in these southern parts, if you see the ruling parties, will they align with the central party? No, they are non-BJP power ruling states in southern India which are developed compared to the northern states. So there is this difference in this devolution of taxes from center to state. So this is the thing which is focused in this article. Okay, if you see this clearly, so finance ministers of 5 opposition ruled states are advocating that yes, we need to get more divisible pool of taxes from 41 to 51 percentage on a cap on cesses collected by center. So we need more devolution of taxes. We don't need 41%, we need 50% of taxes as par of with other less developed states in the country. So this demand arises because of concern of reduced devolutions to high performing states like Karnataka, Gujarat, which faces even challenges in funding, which is crucial for the projects managing disaster responses. So if you see Kerala, recent floods, and even Gujarat, obviously it will be in the floods every year. So here, these states, they want to fight against this disaster, and after once disaster is done, they have to focus on rehabilitation, reconstruction. It is like it needs finances. But here, center is giving very less finances for this high performing states. Is it fair? So that is the thing they are doing. That is the thing they are fighting for. So if you see here, so this article is saying that we need equitable tax distribution. So the current tax devolution model is disproportionately, which is favoring the poor regions, which is neglecting the needs of economically robust states like Gujarat and Karnataka. So because of this, there is some imbalances. So because of these imbalances, that will be affecting the further growth of that state. So this is actually these funds are very important for growth of the state, and even that will be contribute to the overall development of our country. Okay, but it is affecting this. And even because of introduction of GST, which had reduced the power of the state to collect the tax. Okay, so because of this, it will be even affecting the financial autonomy, and this limitation raises concerns about the state capacities to meet the unique socio-economic challenges. Every state is having its own challenges, right? Developed states are having their own challenges, and less developed states are having their own challenges. So they need finances, but because of introduction of GST, states have been given their taxing powers to centers. But on another side here, central is giving less amount of funds to this states. Whether is it fair? So how they can achieve this? Unique socio-economic challenges of the states. So this is one more question which had been raised. And regarding infrastructure funding also, there is insufficient allocation of funds for major projects. Okay, so because of this, here states, they are not achieving their developmental needs. And because of this, it will hinder growth and as well as modernization of key urban areas in certain states. And even if you see about this natural disaster preparedness, so because of climate change, because of extreme weather events, you can see about recently Wayanad landslides. And even in some states like Karnataka also landslide happened. And Himachal Pradesh, cloudburst, etc. is happening. So how they will use this contingency fund? So what is this contingency fund? Okay, so we have consolidated fund of India, consolidated fund of state, and we have contingency fund. So if we want to use the funds for any very urgent, important, public importance, so we will be using the funds. So how these states, they can reconsider this contingency funds again. So this is also one major question that you have to see. And next one is, for high performing states, they are facing reduced devolution as a penalty for the economic success. So because of this, that will be further affecting the growth and as well as social welfare. Okay, so these are the things that you have to see. And see this drowning in neglected public health crisis. So we discussed about this topic many a times. So in our health system, we have three-tier health system like primary health system, secondary and tertiary. So you have to note down what are the challenges we have in our healthcare in each and every sector. And even recently we studied about AI integration in this primary health center so that we can make this doctors will be available 24/7 in this PHS. So because of this also, what will be the impact? So we discussed all those. So here you have to see challenges and what steps we can take along with some data or reports. And see this article, fast track courts justice on the clock. So actually there are many states like Odisha, Kerala, Karnataka, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana. They are not having any functional fast track. So whenever we need justice within a very less time, so we need this kind of reforms. So here you have to understand what is this fast track courts and what are the advantages and what are the reforms that we can come up with our judiciary so that we can overcome what are the challenges that are present in our judiciary. Okay, so those are the things that you have to see, and these are the important articles that appear in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding, guys, and if you like this class, please do like this please do hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy. and we are going to meet in the next class. Thank you.